Kitty man, I had a flow. Drip that water, call that boss. You check my squad and they gon' be in cost. You better be prepared to take a loss. I left my enemies dripping, but it ain't sauce. It ain't sauce, no it ain't sauce. Yeah, enemies dripping, but it ain't sauce. No it ain't sauce, no it ain't sauce. Yeah, enemies dripping, but it ain't sauce. It ain't sauce, it ain't sauce.
Hello people, it's your boy X-Men'97. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing X-Men'97. Now, this is definitely going to be a non-spoiler review because I'm going to just get this straight out the gate, straight out the way. X-Men'97 is fucking awesome. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. It's fucking awesome. I'm definitely not going to spoil anything. I'm not even going to do a spoiler section. Most of the time, I'm going to just get this out the way. I'm mostly going to do spoiler sections on, mostly on movies. Not really on TV shows. Because TV shows kind of... it's kind of a little different with TV shows. But, yeah. With X-Men'97... I want y'all to just go out and watch it. And if you already have... Dang, can't speak. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. This show is awesome, and I love it. Almost every aspect of it. I have little minimal issues with it. And something does tragic happen. All I'm gonna say is one of my favorite characters gets the. Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, he gets the axe, but it's done correct. It's done right, because. He doesn't get any, no one shows him any respect in the actual X-Men movies, or I don't really think he's in any X-Men movies, really, outside of one, but he doesn't get really that much respect I don't feel like he gets that much respect at all, not even really in the comics. He's a really underrated character for me. But, yeah, he gets the axe, and it's done really well. But, yeah, this show is great. It is really good. I definitely say go out and watch it. I would say, I do think that some of the best, I will say right off the gate, episode 1, immaculate. It is great. And I do have some issues once we get to the later episode, especially once we get to the extinction episodes from part 1 to 3. It does feel like at times though we get a little rush, because I feel like in a way they didn't feel like this show was going to work or be that good or even last for that long. So it feels like at times they cram a lot of stories in the show. And don't get me wrong, they're doing the best they can. And at times it definitely works. It works efficiently. It definitely works efficiently. But some stories like Jubilee story or the whole Jean Grey story, and they kind of fell flat for me. I didn't really care as much. Not really. They're kind of just there. But I would definitely say literally outside of just those 2 episodes and and the extinction being kind of rushed, which I understand because I you gotta fill in some of these blanks that the original show had. And this show definitely lives up to the original show in every aspect. The animation does, of course, look better than the original show. I don't think the animation is it holds up a little bit. It's just as much as Batman the Animated Series. But yeah, I think this, as it tries to continue on, it does do a really good job. There are some pacing issues, with the extinction in some of the episodes, because they're trying to cram in so much. Because I don't think, like I said, I don't think they thought that they was going to be getting a season 2, which they are renewed for a season 2. So we will be seeing X-Men'97 continue. Yeah, so it's just a lot of stories, and the stories are really well thought. One thing I will say is Cyclops. They do my boy Cyclops justice. They do Cyclops justice. They do Cyclops justice. They do pretty much every X-Men justice. They do Gambit justice. They do Storm. They do all of them justice. I will say this though, that I really like that this show did do is they minimalized Wolverine. I kind of like that. Wolverine. Now, don't get me wrong. Wolverine is one of my favorite characters. But I'm kind of happy that they did that because mostly all of the movies and most nowadays when it comes to comics or even whenever someone brings up the X-Men, all we hear about is Wolverine. No one cares or talks about any of the other characters. Now you do got some people, and there are some moments where they show the other X-Men shining, but mostly it's just people with Wolverine. That's really it. It's really nothing else. And I kind of like that they minimize some of his stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, he still has some awesome and cool moments, and he is in here, but he's just not as much as he's not in there as much. And I kind of like that they show off how cool Cyclops really is, how good he is at hand-to-hand combat, and how much his heat vision isn't just heat vision. Like he can use this ability for a lot of things in a lot of scenarios. Like he is really like the leader of the X-Men. I love that they show that. And they just really give all of the like the other X-Men justice and show how cool they are, especially Gambit as well. Gambit doesn't get that much love anyway, so I'm happy that they was able to show how cool he is as well. Another character that I think also got shown justice was Magneto. Magneto might have became one of my favorite characters outside of X Men First Class, and actually even in some of the bad prequels. Magneto has became my favorite. Like I love Magneto now. Like he is now. Don't get me wrong, Magneto in the movies isn't fully. All of the other movies aren't fully bad, but here they really showed how powerful and how cool Magneto is. Like it's just amazing. But yeah, all of the X Men are good, but even with Wolverine's minimalization, I will also say there are a lot of cameos, a lot of cool cameos. There are a lot of cameos that I'm like, I didn't really care. I need to see, and you'll get that when you watch. But the cameos you do care about, you're going to really be like, bro, we succeeded with X-Men '97. Come on now, we gotta make alarm. We gotta do cameos for we got not cameos. We gotta do shows for these characters. We gotta do shows for these characters, especially one particular character. We gotta do a show for because if X-Men '97 can succeed, then I'm pretty sure these other ones can succeed. If you let the writers do how they want to do it, you know, and yeah, overall this was just a really good show. I just I just am very curious as how they're going to continue this after like the ending. Like the ending is kind of it ain't really end that it ended pretty good for me. It was some questions I had, but it ended pretty good for me. But I'm trying to curious to how they are going to continue because they crammed like so much in here. I can see in some aspects where they continue, but I don't really. They could, yeah, they could continue it. But this has been this has been great. You don't really, and the thing is also like you don't really get a lot of good continuations of stuff or requels, as you will. Like you don't really get that many good things like this. I wish as I'm watching it, I'm trying to think of like many like shows that do this, and I can't shows or movies that do this, and there's not too many. I can't really think of none. Maybe if Smallville still is making that animated series that's supposed to be a continuation. Maybe that will be good. Who knows? But you don't get too many good shows where they actually really pay homage and still respect the source material and continue after and make shows like this. I don't really see too much of that, and I really appreciate that this show was able to capture. Even though I wasn't born in this time, but when this came on Fox Kids, I will always this and Spider-Man the animated series. I will watch both of these shows, and they will always make me happy while I'm eating my cereal. So, yeah, I definitely say go out and watch X-Men '97. This show is an easy 9 out of 10. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to process it. It's a 9 out of 10. If you know me, I don't give anything a 10 out of 10. But 9 out of 10 is basically perfect. It's pretty much perfect. Besides a couple of minimal issues like pacing and a couple of stories that could have been left behind, but I understand because like I said, they don't We don't know. They didn't know they was going to possibly get a season 2. So you had to do everything in there. And from what they did pretty good. So 9 out of 10 for me. I think the show was amazing. And I definitely say you should go check it out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.